Friends, imagine this. You want to become the most powerful king in ancient India. So, what do? You don't hold elections. You don't build the biggest army yet. You release the horse. That's right. A single horse determines who rules. And if anyone dares to stop that horse, they have to fight. Welcome to ancient India, 3000 years ago. Namaskar and welcome back. Today we are covering NCERT Our Past, Part 1, Chapter 5, Kingdoms and Kings and an Early Republic. It covers Janapadas, Mahajanapadas, Magadha, and the fascinating early republic of Vajji. Every concept here has appeared in the past, so still till the end. I have 9-point power summary waiting for you. Let's go. The Ashwamedha or sacrifice. So back to that horse. This ritual was called the Ashwamedha, the horse sacrifice, and it was the most powerful political statement a Raja could make about 3000 years ago. Here is how it worked. Step 1. The Raja releases a horse to roam freely, guarded by his soldiers. Step 2. If any neighboring Raja stops that horse, it means war. Step 3. If they let it pass, they are accepting this Raja as more powerful than them. Step 4, 5, 6. Everyone gathers for a grand sacrifice ceremony. Priests perform rituals, receive rich gifts. The Raja sits on a throne. The charioteer sings his praises, and boom, he is now the supremely recognized ruler. Think of it like a medieval version of planting your flag, except the flag is a horse and the border is wherever it walks. Powerful ritual, not just war. Brilliant, isn't it? Now come to slide 3. Varnas, 4 social categories. Now, as kingdoms formed, society needed structure. This is where the Varna system came in. 4 occupational groups. Note the slides. Say these were not necessarily chosen by birth at this early stage. Brahmins, priests and scholars, taught the Vedas, performed sacrifices. Kshatriyas, warriors and rulers. The Rajas belonged here. Vaishyas, farmers, herders, and traders called Vish in the Rig Veda, and Shudras, the fourth group, expected to serve the others and critically excluded from many important rituals. The ordinary Vish brought gifts to the sacrifice. Shudras were shut out entirely. Already we see the seeds of social inequality being formalized. Now we come to Janapadas, early settled kingdoms. Around 3000 years ago, Rajas stopped just ruling people. They started ruling land, and that land got a name, Janapada. Janapada literally means the land where the Jana set foot and settled down. Rajas now ruled Janapadas, not just Janas. Archaeological evidence is strong here. Excavations at Purana Kila in Delhi, Hastinapur near Meerut, and Atranjikhera near Ita revealed herds, cattle, crops, rice, wheat, barley, and sugarcane, and a very special pottery called painted graveware. Fine grave pots with geometric designs used only by important people on special occasions. Think of painted graveware as the premium crockery of ancient India. Economically, these early Rajas had no regular taxes, no permanent armies, no capital cities. They depended on voluntary gifts. Names you must remember: Kuru, Panchala, Magadha, Vajji, Avanti, Gandhara, Kosla. Mahajanapadas, the great kingdoms. But wait, about 2500 years ago, some Janapadas got serious. They become Mahajanapadas, the great kingdoms, and the upgrade was dramatic. Now they had capital cities, the throne's permanent address. Those capitals were fortified, surrounded by massive walls of wood, brick, or stone. Why? 3 reasons: protection from armies, display of wealth and power, and control over the people inside. They also built standing armies. Soldiers paid regular salaries all year, not just during war. And they used Panchamav coins, India's early currency, to pay them. From gifts to taxes, from temporary fighters to permanent armies, this was a state in the modern sense, farming our farming before our eyes. Now next comes to taxes and agriculture revolution. So where did the money come from to run all this? Regular taxation. The king collected 1/6 of crops, the biggest income source. Craftsperson paid in goods and or labor. Herders paid in animals and milk. Trade routes were taxed. Even hunter and forest gatherer had to supply the Raja. But taxes need production first, and to agricultural revolution made that possible. Iron ploughshares replaced wooden ones. They could turn heavy over heavy clay soil far more effectively, dramatically increasing grain yields and transplanting paddy. Instead of scattering seeds randomly, saplings were grown first and then carefully planted. Far fewer plants were wasted, yields shot up. Kings actually actively encouraged these innovations because more food meant more taxes. Self-interest driving agricultural progress. Some things never change. Magadha, the most powerful kingdom. Among all Mahajanapadas, one rose to dominate all others within just 200 years. Magadha, located in present-day Bihar. Why? Four geographical advantages. Rivers, the Ganga and Son, flowed through Magadha, giving fertile soil, water, and transport routes. Forest, dense forest provided elephants for the army, plus wood for carts and chariots. Iron ore mines. Rich deposits meant strong weapons and tools, a decisive military age, and those trained war elephants. Enemy soldiers were terrified of them. Key rulers Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, Mahapadmananda, who extended control all the way to northwest. Capital shifted from Rajgriha, present-day Bihar, to later shifted to Patliputra, present-day Patna. This is the foundation on which the Mauryan Empire will later be built. Mark this in your notes. Alexander's invasion. Around 2300 years ago, a world conqueror arrived at India's doorstep, Alexander of Macedonia, who had already conquered Egypt and much of West Asia. He crossed into the Indian subcontinent and reached the banks of the river Bias in present-day Punjab. And then he stopped, not because he wanted to. His soldiers refused to march further east. Why? They had met Indian soldiers. They had heard about Magadha's vast armies, the foot soldiers, the chariots, and especially those war elephants. They were terrified. This moment is historically significant. It was one of the earliest connections between India and the Mediterranean world. Rigvedic armies used chariots and foot soldiers. Magadha's armies had all that plus elephants, far more organized. That contrast is clear. Now we see Vajji, the India's early republic. Now here is the most unique story of this chapter. Not all political systems in India were kingdoms. Vajji, with its capital at Vaishali in Bihar, was a Gana or a Sangha, a form of government with many rajas ruling together. Think of it as India's earliest experiment with collective governance, a republic 2500 years ago. Rajas met in assemblies, debated, and made decisions together on war, peace, and policy. But, and this is important, women, dasas, and kamakarats, that landless laborers could not participate. The Dignikaya, a famous Buddhist text from around 2000 years ago, they called the Buddha's 7 conditions for Vajji's prosperity. That is, hold frequent assemblies, act together, follow laws, respect elders, protect women, maintain shrines, and allow free movement of wise saints. Vajji survived until the Gupta rulers conquered it around 1500 years ago, a remarkable run for an ancient republic. This is the vocabulary for chapter. Now let's lock in the 9 key points. Rajas were made through the Shumeda, not through elections. Four Varnas, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaikshyas, and Shudras. Shudras were excluded from rituals. Janapada, early settled kingdom. Archaeological sites include Hastinapura, Atranjakhera, pottery, repainted graveyard. 2005, some Janapadas grew into Mahajanapadas with fortified capitals, standing armies, and regular taxes. 5 types of taxes: crops, crop person, herders, trade goods, and forest produce. To agricultural revolution, iron ploughshares and transplantation. Magadha's advantage are rivers, forest, and iron ore mines. Iron ore mines. Rulers Bimbisara, Ajatashatru, Mahapadmananda. Capital shifted from Rajgir to Patliputra. Alexander 2000 years ago, 2300 years ago, reached the Bias, but his soldier refused to go further, feared India's war elephants. Vajji, capital Vaishali, was a Gana-Sangha republic with many rajas governing through assemblies. Source Diganikaya, lasted until 1500 years ago. That I completely covered. Now tell me in the comments which concept was new for you today: Ashwamedha, Vajji's republic, or Magadha's iron ore advantage. If this video helped you, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your study group right now. Every video I make saves you hours of reading. Next up, we go deeper into the Mauryan Empire and Ashoka's legacy. You do not want to miss that one. Until then, keep studying. Jai Hind.